Hey guys, my name is Matthew, and this is my review of Dear God, Honest Prayers to a God Who Listens by Bunmi Laditan. Here we go. Dear God is a short book. Really, it's a collection of letters from the author to God, and they're kind of prayers, if you will. Some of the prayers are as short as a short sentence, and some of them are as long as maybe a page, but they're all very short. None of them is a very long read. The whole book could take you, if you're a slow reader, maybe 3 hours, but I think most people would take less time than even that to get through the book. The letters are poignant and funny and interesting, and they discuss all aspects of faith and life. It's really, really well done. In this review, I'm going to be listing some of my observations of the book, starting with some of the things that I enjoyed the most and moving down through the list to a couple things that I didn't enjoy as much about this book. At the end of this review, I'll give a recommendation for who this book is written for. To start with, one of my favorite things about this book is how beautiful and simple the writing is. I don't want to overstate this too much, but it's really simple. Even when we're discussing kind of complex issues and spiritual and theological ideas, it's simple and easy enough that even a child could pick this up and get a lot from it, I think. Another thing I really loved about this book is how honest all of these prayers are. Sometimes it's actually uncomfortable how brutally honest the letters are from the author to God. And you can just tell that something of who she is as a person has gone into all of these letters. Sometimes there's a lot of hurt and pain surrounding them, and sometimes there's a lot of joy, but the letters are all very beautifully honest. In fact, they're so honest it kind of feels like diary entries sometimes, where it's like, hey, this is something that happened to me today, or these are the ways that I feel about you, God, or about myself, and it's just beautiful, just how honest they are. I love the whole wide array of different kind of discussion topics she has in her letters. Some of them are so sad, and they're heartbreaking, and they're deep, and it's just so reminiscent of a broken world that we live in. And some of them are so joyous, and they're just noticing the beautiful things around her, the small things like coffee and some cool things like nature. And so both the beauty in the world and the heartbreak in the world are captured in these letters. And I think it's so beautiful, especially the way she does it, like I already mentioned, with the very simple language. These aren't like complex, big words that are being used to describe hard things, but instead it's very beautiful, simple, emotionally driven language. And I think it's just gorgeous the way that she tackles this wide array of subjects. I don't know if this is overstating what they are, and it probably is. This isn't probably quite true, but they feel kind of like modern Psalms to me. Like, you know, all the places in the Psalms in the Old Testament where David is crying out and saying, Lord, why would you do this to me? That kind of is the feel that you get from these letters, is they're like modern Psalms, but also discussing the beauty of who God is and his grace and his mercy. And I don't know, there's just something about this that captures the essence of the Psalms and makes it modern and relatable. Another thing that I really enjoyed about this book is it's a really short read. Now, we'll get to that in just a second, but I think this is a book that I could pick up again, I don't know, even as soon as next month, and read it again, because it was such a short read, and I felt like there was so much deep thought in it that, you know, that's something you kind of ruminate on a little bit and read again in a month if you wanted to, or read it again in a year, or make it, you know, I don't know, it's very rereadable, and it's a short book, so it doesn't feel like there's a huge investment in it. It's also really easy just to pick it up and flip to a page and read one or two of the letters and then put it back down again and feel like you've gained something from that. A couple things I didn't like about this book as much, and one of them is maybe not fair, but the first one is I really wanted there to be more about this author's belief system or their faith in the book itself. She has a little intro in the beginning, and you know, I kind of wanted there to be something at the end, kind of bookending both ends of the book, but there just wasn't, and it left me wanting more. Now, maybe that's actually a pro for this book and for this author, that, you know, maybe I'm going to go pick up some more of her books now because she's left it that way. But for me, it left me feeling like, man, this book wasn't quite complete. And the second one is kind of related. I wish that the book was longer in general. This has something to do with the price point of the book, as well as desiring more from her and more from her letters. But I just felt like the book was short. And like I said, especially for the price point that it is, it's a beautiful book. It's written really well, but I kind of wish it was a bit longer for the amount of money you could spend on this book. You know, it's relatively short and very quick read. Now, before I tell you who I recommend this book for, I do just want to briefly point to the affiliate link that's in the description. If you do decide that you want to buy this book, I would love it if you use that affiliate link. It would really help us out on the channel, and it wouldn't cost you anything extra. Now, for who I recommend this book for. I recommend this book for anyone who's struggling with how to have like a healthy discussion with God. Anyone who's looking to improve their prayer life and just see someone who's really brutally honest with bringing hard things to God. God knows what you're thinking, he knows what you're feeling, and he wants to have these types of discussions with you. And I really love the way that the author laid this out, laid her heart bare for us to read, so that way we can really see the conversations that she actually has with God. I think anyone who's looking to improve in the relationship with God and they're not sure how to do it, but they're like, man, I just wish there was someone I could be open and honest with. I think this book could really be helpful for you in your journey. And whether you're a Christian or not, I think this could really help you to understand the heart of God and what it is that he really desires and wants from us. God is not looking for our obedience necessarily. He's really looking for our love. And I think the way that this book does this is different than a lot of other books I've seen on this exact subject. And she just does it in such a beautiful and honest way that I really recommend this book for people who are struggling in their prayer life. This has been my review of Dear God, Honest Prayers to a God Who Listens. If you've enjoyed this content, feel free to like and subscribe. And also, like I mentioned before, click on the affiliate link in the description. That really helps out our channel. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, stay safe out there.